Now we are officially live. We're still getting the hang of this 10-second thing.
I don't think I'll ever get that. I don't understand the 10-second thing. I'm Charles Epting from HR Harmer in New York City.
And I'm Michael Cortese of Noble Spirit in Pittsfield, New Hampshire.
This is Conversations with Philatelists live stream
Number 10.
number 10. Sorry, I can hear myself.
Okay.
I just muted us. It's all good. Michael, some couple of news stories from this week that I think are worth mentioning. The first is something I should have Googled before we started.
What's that?
When the rate increase goes into effect.
Sunday. On Sunday, this Sunday, April 29th, I believe, the Forever stamps are changing from 55 cents to 58 cents.
Yeah, so here's the full list of prices. First class single piece letters less than 1 ounce. That's a letter. Goes from 55 to 58, like you said. That's buying a stamp 58 cents now instead of 55. So go buy your stamps today and tomorrow.
Yes.
An additional ounce stays at 20 cents. Metered mail goes from 51 cents to 53 cents.
Yeah.
Postcards go from 36 cents to 40 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And single piece 1 ounce flats, so that's like the non-machinable, goes from $1 to $1.16. And then international goes from $1.20 to $1.30.
Right.
So pretty dramatic. I mean, I feel like things sort of held steady for a while, and now I feel like it was just 50 recently, and then it jumped up to 55 and now 58.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. We should send some mail for the.
Yeah, I mean, Forever stamps are just I feel like they always, for us at least, sell for overface sometimes. So
You said they always sell overface sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm remembering my favorite. Some of it's a lot of the mixed lots where we do the perf and imperf Forever stamps together. They'll sell for overface. The perf ones sell for face, and the imperfs always sell for overface. So
yeah,
buy your Forever stamps now.
I remember reading an article once. I wish I could find it. I'll look for it after, where somebody did the math on what you would have to buy to like turn a profit on Forever stamps. I think it was when the rate was going up from 50 to 55.
Okay.
And they were planning on buying like 30,000 stamps, and like, even though it seems like a lot, 10%.
Yeah.
When you factor in having to then Can you hear me?
Yep.
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay, the headphones just fell out. When you factor in having to resell the stamps, there's like zero profit to be made. There's no profit margin.
Unless you're selling them at a show, but yeah, I mean.
But even then, good luck trying to get somebody to pay 58 cents when they could have just paid 55. So anyways, rate increase. The other news though that we want to talk about, do you want to address this one?
So we've been following closely the Stanley Gibbons tracking of the magenta, the breaking up and selling to individual people. We both signed up for the newsletters to make sure that we're in the know immediately. I still recommend people go and sign up for those newsletters. I think you can still do it through the Stanley Gibbons website, but they're keeping people updated. So a survey came out. It was just yesterday morning, would have been yesterday afternoon or noontime for them in London. But a small survey asking people about the different prices for the magenta, the different price points. Do you want to roll through the price points?
Do you have the email to screen share?
I don't. I don't have the email, but I know what the price points that they were talking about.
So this let's start at the beginning, I guess. Okay. This caused a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was just us being confused.
I thought I had done something wrong.
Right. So
I don't read.
The way this started, you texted me and you said shares of the magenta are 80 pounds.
Yeah.
And we were both like, okay, we'd probably buy one at that price point.
Yeah.
So then I clicked on it and you were like, wait, what price did you get? Because now it says it's 800 pounds a share.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not buying a share at 800 pounds. So what we then realized is that if you refresh it, they're testing out different price points. This is sort of a hypothetical email survey where a friend of mine texted me later in the day and said, hey, shares of the magenta are 32 pounds. I'm going to go buy a bunch of them. He wanted to buy like 10 of them at 32 pounds each.
Yeah.
And I think I sent him one of your screenshots where I was like, no, they're actually 800. And I thought this might just be you and me not understanding, but there was confusion on Twitter as well.
Yes, I saw.
On Twitter at the end of the day.
James Gavin's tweet, the digital philatelist, he actually found out all the price points, so it looked like they had. Can't believe wow, he tweets a lot. Wait, where'd it go? I'm sorry. I apologize. This is what people want. I should have. Okay. So there was the price points they were testing out were £32 at 250,000 shares, £80 at 100,000 shares, £160 at 50,000, £20,000. 20,000 shares, £400, or £800 and 10,000 shares. So there's 1, 2, and all 3, of these 5 different price points
all of these do equal. I saw there was also confusion about the valuation of the stamp. All of these add up to £8 million,
which is what it was with the
premium and all of that. Yes. Real quick, can you enable screen sharing by any chance?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, man. I forgive you.
There you go.
And then I'm going to try and get really fancy.
Okay. So I was excited about this when I first texted you because £80, I feel, I'd buy a couple, maybe a little more than a couple shares. Then when you said 800, I thought maybe I personally wouldn't, but I know our company would buy some shares. Gordon Eubanks, remember that the price is only meaningful with the total number of shares available. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I saw there was also some discussion about how many shares Gibbons will maintain for themselves.
Of course. Yeah.
Because obviously they want to keep a controlling interest in the stamp. And then I really want to screen share. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask you how to do this.
Are you trying to screen share from your phone onto your laptop?
Yes.
I don't think that's a thing.
It is via AirPlay.
Okay.
But that's definitely not something I can figure out while we're live right now. Give me 2 more seconds.
Yeah. So, overall, I think it was a good idea to test the waters to see kind of what people would be willing to pay. I know there were some mixed results as far as people saying, okay, £32 sounds good, £80 sounds good, 160 kind of priced out a couple people that we knew, but still a lot of people were interested. I thought these were fairly reasonable prices as far as the magenta went. Oh, perfect.
Did I do it?
Yes, you did.
All right, let's share the survey.
Mm-hmm.
Those who purchase their piece of the world's most valuable stamp will receive full legal and economic ownership of the stamp, voting rights to decide on the future of the stamp, secure, fully insured custody of the stamp provided by Stanley Gibbons, lifetime guarantee of authenticity provided by Gibbons, which they provide with every stamp, and further benefits of ownership yet to be announced. So, okay, here, this time I opened it gives you £400 split into 20,000 pieces.
Yeah.
You say, okay. How much would you consider spending on pieces of the ones at magenta? So this is the same question for everyone because one piece equals £1 according to this ratio. Second question I know a lot of people were amused by. We're considering entering all future owners of the ones at magenta into a sweepstake for the chance to win the opportunity to sign their own name on the back of the stamp. How do you feel about the possibility of having your name permanently placed upon the world's most famous stamp? Ranging from extremely excited to disgusted. I saw people commenting that they've never gotten to use the option disgusted in a survey before.
Yeah, that I thought that was
enjoyed that.
It was an interesting word choice. Yeah.
And then lastly, thank you for answering. Please note the detail within the survey varies between participants and is not necessarily reflective of the structure or price which will be used. We very much look forward to sharing more with you shortly. Please leave any further comments below. So very quick, brief survey, but an interesting one. And I think that, this number that you see here, can you guys see me highlighting it? Yeah. That number changes your mentality. Again, 32 pounds or even 80 pounds, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
400 or 800 pounds, even though you have more ownership, the ownership, it's not like you, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this because I'm not a financial.
No, it's not like you own more or less of the stamp regardless of because they're just breaking it into more
Right. If the
shares.
stamp is valued at 8 million pounds, no matter what you spend, you still own the same percentage of that 8 million.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of how many other people also own it. What piece of the pie are you? Are you a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Which I think is an interesting concept. It's an interesting way to do it because, I mean, they're trying to find the right number of people. It's not necessarily, someone who'd spend X number at 32 pounds isn't going to spend more than that at 800 just to get the same number of shares. They'd spend the same either way.
So can I? There's already some opinions being shared about the stamp. In the comments. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Let's just say you won the sweepstakes and you got to sign the back of the stamp. Stuart Weissman drew a shoe on it. What article of clothing do you draw on the stamp?
Honestly, I don't know if I would sign it even if I won the sweepstakes. Do you draw a miniature
Chelsea jersey?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I draw the lion.
Yeah, exactly.
Chelsea. Yeah.
You're you need to work on your micro drawing skills, but
no, I don't know.
I'm not sure I could bring myself to sign it either. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's an interesting.
It's
interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
The entire purchase of the stamp by Stanley Gibbons, I feel like, has elicited a lot of commentary, which I like very much.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like there's.
Just they're very purchasing of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody says the price tag will be higher than 8 million simply because they want and need to make money from the effort and also to cover the past and ongoing costs they have incurred. Yeah, again, these are all provisional numbers. These are not, this is nothing.
Nothing is set in stone at this point.
No. Again, I feel like we're almost playing an ARG or something where we're just being. Do you know what that means? Is that not an abbreviation?
Smile. Yeah.
An augmented reality game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never.
Okay, never mind. Okay. That's okay.
No, I get it. I know what it means.
Yeah, it's almost like one of these like mysteries online. Like you need to keep playing along to get more information. I feel, and I'm excited to keep learning more about this.
Yes.
So yeah, those are sort of the two news stories this week. I think
there's a third thing that happened today. The Smithsonian National Postal Museum opened today.
Oh, that's right. It's August 27th.
August 27th. They opened today. I was going to screen share on their page about. They've got this page here. Know before you go, of things you need to know about going to the Smithsonian further now being open. So it's open Friday through Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Closed Wednesdays and Thursdays until further notice, and closed December 25th. No timed entry passes are required to visit the National Postal Museum, and they invite the public to explore the vast portfolio of online resources available on our website. Then they link their social medias, which we will then put in our show notes later for the people listening here. They have, some standard COVID regulation guidelines here. If you're sick, stay home. All visitors ages 2 and older are required to wear face masks. They still encourage people to maintain social distancing, hygiene, and everything. But I think this is pretty exciting. We got a chance to speak to Elliot at Westpex, and we talked about possibly going down once they're open to do an episode from the Smithsonian. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh no, I don't think that was a possibly. I think that's a definite. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited they're back open. I forgot today was the day. That's incredible. We definitely have to do more with them. And that baseball exhibit next year, I've been telling people about that. Mm-hmm. I've been telling non-stamp people about that to try and get them to go.
It was really interesting hearing his talk at Westpex, because I personally had no idea that some of these exhibits take them 5 to 7 years to put together. And just the vast majority and the massive amount of material that they have in their storage is just incredible.
I'm looking at their website now. I'm excited to get back down there.
Yeah.
It's an easy train ride.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what else is new and exciting? We still have to do our episode where we compare consignments that we've been working on. We want to share that with people. We've both been busy. We haven't even been talking as much as we normally do.
I know. Yeah, because we've both been. I mean, you've got your big auction coming up. I'm still preparing these descriptions for
first auctions coming up in a way.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk? I would like for you to talk a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. So we always run auctions. 5 days a week, 99-cent no reserve auctions. Sometimes we put starting prices on things, but as eBay is, it can't really run an auction like a traditional auction house where you have the 6 weeks lead time. You get to tell people what the descriptions are ahead of time.
6 weeks lead time is a dream these days.
Really? You don't?
We're running
What's
on
your
about
lead time?
3.5 weeks lead time right now. If
really?
All goes well. Yeah.
Okay. I thought still 6 weeks. Yeah, I was. So okay, traditional 3.5 weeks lead time. So we developed something on our software that we use, Meridian, that would allow us to create and schedule eBay listings in advance while writing large descriptions for them, like auction houses traditionally do. Usually in our company, we rely heavily on the photos. So one stamp, if it's over even $100 catalog value, we'll take a photo of the front, the back, through the light, sometimes even in fluid, to try and recreate the process of people viewing stamps at a auction house or viewing them at a stamp show. We want to try and show people everything about the stamp that's completely possible. But we don't really, because of the amount of material we get the amount of time to describe the stamps as properly as some of the other places do. So we rely heavily on people viewing absolutely everything online. So this software that we built essentially is an online digital catalog. It directs people to, once you view the catalog, if you go to our website, noblespirit.com, there's an entire catalog section. Once you view the catalog, you can then click into it. It gives you everything and then breaks it down by category. So if you want to look at British Commonwealth, if you want to drill down even further, Cape of Good Hope, things like that, you drill down into the categories and then you can click on it and you can see the title, description, photos, starting price, starting date, and we're trying to just market some more better material, if you would. We're starting with 2 auctions. So one is the first auction that we'll ever actually be holding is a collection of first day covers. Lots of Zeppelin's early known uses, first day covers. It's rare kind of cancels with APS certs, stuff like that. And then the second collection is British material, but with some worldwide in there. There's some Germany, there's some really good France. And it's a collection put together by a doctor in Massachusetts, Dr. Sarath Reddy, that he's been working on for the past few decades and consigned this material to us. It's the first batch. He's got a second batch of material that's going to come up after this. That's a near complete US collection, which we're pretty excited about. But yeah, I mean, that the first one, the first day covers, are last week in September. And then the British material, the Sarath Reddy collection, is first week in October. So the items will be listed on October 4th through 7th and then have 10 days to sell. So they'll be selling on the 14th through the 17th. What's kind of weird with eBay is we're advertising the list dates for the items, not the end dates, because if we advertise the end dates, then people are going to get to them maybe possibly too late. So we want to let people know when the items are listing, so they have the full 10-day window to bid on them if they'd like. But that's what we kind of been working on for the past few months is building out this catalog that will redirect people to a description before the items are live, and then once the items are live, it redirects them directly to the eBay items for them to bid on. Yeah, I mean, we're really excited on it. It's been a lot of work, and I'm not really used to working on items that I don't get to see go up immediately because our turnover is usually so quick. We get a box in, and we like to advertise to the consigners who consign with us. We get a box in on Monday. We can have the stuff listed by Wednesday. It's ended by the next Wednesday, and you know how much the material sold for. But in this scenario, like a traditional auction house, we get the box on Monday, and you got to wait 3 months for us to, put the material together and then advertise it. I think we got this Sarath Ready material about four months ago. So it's been pretty exciting.
Yeah, I just want to give you a chance to talk about that because I think that's really cool, and we've obviously talked about it a lot behind the scenes. But I can't wait to see the finished product.
Yes, yeah, we actually just put the final item in the catalog yesterday, the Sarath Ready catalog. So we're ready to we've been advertising it to people through our newsletters and stuff like that. We had the brochures, yeah, but we were still populating the catalog with material. So yeah, we actually put the final item in yesterday.
Before we go,
yes,
one other thing I remembered that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Have you read the story about Mauritius?
That's kind of vague. What do you mean?
The news story that everyone's been sharing on Twitter the last couple of days.
I don't think I have.
You know what I'm talking? Can I screen share again?
Please do.
I thought this was interesting, partially because I think it's interesting, and partially because it's gaining a lot more traction than I anticipated.
Okay.
Or not anticipated, but would expect, I should say.
Okay.
So, can you see?
Yeah.
Mauritius welcomes ban on British stamps in disputed Chagos Islands, I assume it's pronounced. Okay. So this is a group of islands that I did not know by this name, but it's the island of Diego Garcia, which is part of the British Indian Ocean Territory.
Okay.
Has been administered by numerous entities. But the news this week was that the Universal Postal Union follows a long-standing dispute between Mauritius and Britain over the Chagos Islands, where London and Washington operate a joint military base. All stamps from the Chagos Islands must now, from now on, bear stamps from Mauritius, not stamps from the UK.
Interesting.
So this is a disputed territory that Mauritius claims, but we built a military base there with the Brits.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just because we're looking at stamp Twitter, but this really seems like a major story. That over stamps. I don't know. The sovereignty of an island nation does not seem like the sort of thing, but I guess stamps are more symbolic in this case. It's not just that the stamps are banned there. This is a step towards their independence.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
That's interesting.
It's interesting. The stamps are sort of a figure. It means much more. It almost reminds me of, like, I don't know, when you're in high school literature and you learn about symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the stamps here are not really relevant. The stamps
it's not about the stamps. It's about
It's about so much more than that. And I just thought that was interesting that this is getting picked up and shared so much. And you also kind of forget. Maybe I just forget that the UPU still does things. I'm used to learning about the UPU like in the context of the 1870s or something, you know? Mm-hmm. So the fact that the UPU is still making decisions like this with international repercussions is just kind of interesting to me. So I find it, I think it's great. I think it's incredible that people, this story's being shared and people are reading this and maybe in the back of their minds thinking, wow, these stamps here are actually meaningful to these countries, and it does more than just mail a letter. It decides the dependence or independence of the country itself. So, question that you might not know the answer to, but the post office in those islands, could you buy British stamps in them, or only
have they removed the ability to buy British stamps at those post offices, and it's only Mauritius stamps now? Is it you who's frozen or me? I'm not sure. So I'll keep talking in case it was Charles. Okay. Sorry about that. He somehow got kicked off. That is an interesting article, though, I will say. Yeah. Reflecting on that. Interesting. Okay. I will wait another minute or two to see if he comes back. If not, thank you everybody for joining us live again. And yeah, we've got an interesting episode coming out on Monday. So this past week, on Tuesday, I believe it was, we recorded an episode with another podcast who invited us onto their podcast called Cardboard Culture. So they're specifically a trading card podcast about collecting in the trading card industry. And they invited us on to try and, to get an idea of what philately is like. There he is. Hey. So I was just talking a little bit about Monday's episode, which Peter, our friend in Japan, actually jumped the gun on and watched specifically on the Cardboard Culture YouTube channel.
I saw he made it the entire time, which is impressive because I don't even remember the entire 2 hours and 20 some odd minutes. But I saw that and I was blown away.
So Monday's episode will be a brief introduction to that episode where they invited us on to talk about stamps and the culture around stamp collecting and what it means to the people in the hobby. We previewed the episode for about 45 minutes, and we had a fantastic time. We talked to them for about 2.5 hours on their podcast.
And then we stayed on for like another half hour after they stopped recording. I was like desperate to get to sleep that night, but it was a very fun conversation.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Monday's episode is a preview of that conversation. If you guys are interested in the rest of it, it'll be on their channel. We direct you guys to it. And yeah, that's about it.
I was going to say, I'm going to go figure out why the internet stopped working. That's what's on the agenda for the rest of my afternoon.
Okay.
But yeah, that episode's going to be a lot of fun. And we maybe we can even figure out like a Twitter live stream or something over the weekend since we're going to be hanging out for a couple of days. Yeah, we'll do some sort of like, we'll do like an AMA or something, right? Is that what the kids do?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Let's do a Twitter stream from your place over the weekend.
Okay, fantastic.
Awesome. Great. Huge thank you to everyone who listened. Follow us on Twitter, Charles L. Epting, Michael J. Court, philatelypodcast.com, philatelypodcast@gmail.com. But if you're listening to the live stream, you probably know those already. Mm-hmm. And the internet just came back on. So, have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll be back Monday.
Yeah, see you guys Monday.